Good afternoon, everyone. Now we will be looking into the questions that came for CSAT paper in Panchsutra 2. So let's start with the first one. In the question we are given, A is the son of B. A is the son of B, B is the brother of C is the husband of D is the mother of E, F is the mother of B, and how is A related to E? So this is a relation question. So what we need to do, we need to draw. How can we draw this? A is the son of B, that means A is a B. B is the brother of C, that means he is a male member, that means he is the father of A. C is the husband of D, that means he is also a male member, and D is the female member. D is the mother of E, that means E is their child. F is the mother of B, that means F. So how is F related to B? Since he is a male member and she is mother, then F becomes mother of B and grandmother of A. How is A related to A? Simple. They are cousins. Answer solved. Question solved. A, cousin. Now let's move on to the next question. 6 friends, A, B, C, D, E and F. A, B, C, D, there are 6 friends. They are sitting in a row. Consider the following information. So there are 6 friends, A, B, C, D and E. Now they are sitting in a row. So let's see the information which are given. From statement 1, A is sitting to the immediate right of B but is not at the ends. That means B and A, they are sitting together and A is to the immediate right of B. That means, and one more information, and it is not at the end, means there is somebody before B. So from 1 we get. Okay. From second one, C is second to the left of E. So this is C and this is E. Okay. C is second to the left of E from 2. Means there is somebody sitting between C and E. We do not know as of yet. D is not sitting next to C from 3. D and C, they are not sitting together. Means this position cannot be filled by D in any manner. F is sitting third to the right of B. That means there is B, there is somebody in front of B, there is one more space, and then there is F. But from 1 we know in front of B is A. So from 4 we got this. Okay. So who is sitting next to C? This is a question. So so from this, from all the 4 information, we get this. Okay. So the only possible combination is that C and E fill this place, because D does not sit next to C. Okay. So this is the possible arrangement that is possible on the based on the given information. So what is asked? Who is sitting next to C? Next to C is F. So A becomes the right answer. Now let's move to the next question. A lottery consists of 100 balls. Total number of 100 balls. Numbered from 1 to 100. A ball is randomly chosen. What is the probability that the number on the ball is a multiple of 2 or 3? So there are 100 balls. Total balls 100. Okay. Now, let's see multiples of 2. How many multiples of 2 there will be from 1 to 100? We can find away 100 by 2. There will be 50 multiples. What are they? 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Multiples of 3 will be 100 by 3. 33.33 something and so on. So 33 multiples will be there from 3 to 99. Okay. Multiple of 2 or 3. But when there is a catch. There is also a multiple of 3. Multiple of 6. What are the multiples of 6? 6, 12, 18. So how many multiples of 6 will be there? 16.66. So 16 multiples there will be. So the problem is, when you see the multiple of 6, it also consists the multiple of 2 and 3 both. That means both of them will be counted twice. Multiples of 2 and 3 will be counted twice. So what we need to do, we need to subtract to avoid repetition. So what we can do, multiple of 2, how much we got? 50. Multiple of 3, 33. And now we need to subtract the multiple of 6 because 2 and 3 will be counted twice. So to avoid that repetition, what we can do, we will subtract the multiple of 6. How much? 83 minus 16, 67. So 67, but we need to find the probability, and the total number of balls given is 100. So the probability becomes 0.67. This is the right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. If P is a prime number greater than 3, so what is the information given? P is a prime number P, it is greater than 3. So what are the prime numbers greater than 3? They are 5, 7, 11, 13 and so on. Which of the following is always true about P square minus 1? So the quickest way to solve this question is to do trial methods. We have some numbers, we will check on, and any number that deviates the pattern, we will mark it wrong and we will come to the right answer. So it is always divisible by 2 but not by 3. Now let's see 5. Now let's take 5 for example. Okay, 5 square minus 1, that is 25 minus 1, 24. Now we can see from this that it is divisible by 2 and it also divisible by 3. So from this example we can see the first one is wrong. So we will eliminate it. It is always divisible by 7. In the same example, is it divisible by 7? No. B is also eliminated. It is always divisible by 8. Okay, it is divisible by 8. Let's see some more from the given set to see if there is any deviation. If there is any deviation, we will mark it wrong. So 7 square minus 1, 48, divisible by 8, okay. 11 square minus 1, divisible by 8, okay. 13 square minus 1, 168, it is also divisible by 8. So far, there is no deviation. So this could be a potential answer, but let's see this one. It is always a prime number. Is it a prime number? No. Is this a prime number? No. So C is the right answer. This is the quickest way to solve this question. Just do hit trial and error and you will deduce the right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. Okay. Consider the following statement about the two natural number P and Q, where P is the prime number. Okay. Here we are given that P is a prime number and Q is a composite number. Composite number is those number having more than two factors. Prime number that is divisible by itself and 1 only. So some example of composite number are 4, 6, 8 and so on. Prime number example are 2, 3, 5, 7 and so on. So p square minus q square can be a multiple of 4. Here also we need to do some trials to come to the answer. P square minus q square. Now suppose we take a prime number p is equal to 5. Okay. And q let's take as 8. Okay. Now according to p square minus q square, it will be 5 square minus 8 square. 25 minus 81, it is minus 56. And minus 56 is a multiple of 4. So first one is correct. If first one is correct, B we can eliminate. Q by P can be a perfect square. Q, let's take a number Q is equal to 8. 8 is a composite number. And P, what is P? P is a prime number and let's take it as 2. So 4. 4 which is another 2 square. It is the perfect square. So B is correct. If B is correct, then we can eliminate C. If 2 is correct, we can eliminate C. Okay, now let's see. P plus Q cannot be a perfect square. P, let's take prime number P. P as 7. And Q is a composite number. Let's take Q as 9. It is a perfect square of. It is a perfect square. So it is correct. Yeah, this is wrong because here it is given cannot. So only 1 and 2. A is the correct answer. Okay. How many? This one is easy, just based on some calculation. How many hours, minutes and seconds are there in 11,000 seconds? So in total we need to get 11,000 seconds. Very simple. We know 1 hour is 3600 seconds. Okay. So 3 hours will be 3600 into 3, that is 10,800 seconds. What is the difference? 200 seconds. So we need to find an option whose minutes and second add up to 200 seconds. 2 minutes 40 seconds, this is 160 seconds. No. 3 minutes 10 seconds, that is 190 seconds. 10 short of what we require. 3 minutes 20 seconds. This one is correct. This added up 200 seconds. And this is wrong. It is over 11,000 seconds. So C becomes the right answer. This was one easy question. Now let's move on to the next question. How many ways can a 5-digit number can be formed from the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 if the number must be divisible by 5 and the repetition of digits are not allowed? So here we are given how many digits? We are given 6 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We need to form a 5-digit number that should be divisible by 5. So based on divisibility rule, a number will be divisible by 5 if it has 0 or 5 at its last place. So here we do not have 0. So the last place must be fixed as 5. Then only this number will be divisible by 5. So what are the leftover number? 6, 4, 3, 2 and 1. In how many ways this can be arranged? Simple. 5 factorial. 5 factorial is how much? 1 in 120. A is the correct answer. Let's move on another question. Okay. So in this question we will require a bit of calculation. So this is a time consuming question if you are not able to do a calculation a bit fast. So let's see. P, Q, R, S, T, U and V, a 7 consecutive positive integer. So what are the P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. 7 consecutive integers, okay? And with an average of 110. So here we are given average 110. So what we can do, the mid number S, 3 here, and the mid value S will be equal to the average, that is 110. Okay, if it is 110, the number that follow, it will be, since they are consecutive integers, it will be 111, 112, 113, and it will be 109, 1 less, 108, 2 less, 107. Okay, now we have the values. Now this question is very simple, just we need to do some calculation. P plus Q into R minus S. P plus Q, 107 plus Q, 108 into R minus S. What is R? 109. S is 110. This is how much? 215 into, this will be a negative number, minus 1, minus 215 is an odd number. This is an odd number. So this one is correct. A is correct. If A is correct, see if we can eliminate something. C can be eliminated. Okay. Now let's move on to the next. T plus U plus V divided by 3 is an integer. Let's see. T plus, what is T? T is 111. U is 112. V is 113. Okay. So what is the addition? 225, 336. If I am not wrong, 336 is say by 3. Okay. So this is 112. This is an integer. So B is also correct. If B is correct, 2 is correct, B can be eliminated. Now let's see. Q into S. Q into S, 108 into S 110 plus R into V. R into V, 109 into 113. R into V minus P plus U. P is 107 and U is 112. This is nothing but 219. Now we will just do calculation. How much? One 08 into 110, that is 11,880 plus 109 into 113, 12,317 plus 219. Now we will add all this. 11,880 plus 12,317 plus 219. 24416. If I am not wrong, 24416 is the value which we get. And is this an even number? Yes, it is an even number. So D becomes the right answer. I just use the calculator for faster solving. You will need to do all this with pen and paper in exam, since there is time constraint here. So, a calendar question. If today is Sunday, what day will it be after 5 to the power 15 days? If today is Sunday. Okay. So 5 power 1, when divided by 7, it will leave a remainder 5. When 5 square, that is 25 by 7, it will leave a remainder 4. When 5 cube, that is 125 by 7, it will leave a remainder how much? 125 by 7. Just a second. Okay. The remainder will be 6. When 5 power 4 by 7, that is 625 by 7, the remainder will be how much? The remainder will be 2. When 5 power 5 by 7, that is 3125 by 7, the remainder will be 3. And when 5 power 6 divided by 7, the remainder will be 1. The value will be 15625 and the remainder will be 1. Now according to the question, 5 power 15 is given. So we can write it as 5 into this is how we can write 5 power 15. Okay. So 5 power 6, which can also be written 5 power square into 5 cube. Okay. So we know the remainder here, 5 power 6, the remainder is 1. And 5 power cube, the remainder is 6. So from this we can deduce the required day will be 6 days after Sunday. What will the 6 days after that? 7 days after Sunday will be Sunday itself. So 1 day less to Sunday will be Saturday. C is the correct answer. A sum of 10,000 rupees is invested for 3 years at a compound interest. The rate of interest for the first year is 10%, the next year is 12%, and the third year is 15%. What will be the final amount? This is a very basic, simple compound interest question. Let's try to do it. The amount given is 10,000. And for first year, what is the interest rate? 10%. So 10 by 100 into 10,000. So what will you get? 1,000 here. So the total amount will become 10,000 plus 1,000, that is 11,000. This is the amount which we get after first year. Now let's move on to this was first year. Second year, the new amount is 11,000. So we will use this as a base for the second year now. So 12% for this 11,000. What's the value we get? 110 into 12, 0, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0, 0, 2, 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 0. So what we'll do, we will add this to the principal amount, new principal amount, 11,000. Or 11,000 plus 1320, 0, 2, 3, 12,320 is the amount which we get after second year. Now for third year, what is the interest rate? 15%. 15 by 100 into 12,320. 3 times, 2 times. This will be 616. 616 into 3 is 18. 314. 1848 if I am not wrong. So we will add this to 12,320. 12,320 plus 1848. Okay. 6, 11, 14,168. Do we have 14,168? Yes, it's there in the option. So A is the right answer. Okay, now this is A salary to B salary is 5:7. Here we are given A salary to B salary is 5:7. And B salary to C salary is is 3:4 and B by C is 3 by 4. If A's salary is 25,000, now we are given the salary of A, so we can, from this we can deduce the salary of B also. So 25,000 by B is 5 by 7, just cross multiply. 25,000 into 7 by 5 is B. This is 5,000 into 7, the B's salary becomes 35,000. Now since we have B's salary as 35,000, we can substitute the value of B in this equation to get the salary of C. 35,000, 3 by 4. C 35,000 into 4 by 3. What is the value? This will be 1,40,000, 70 into 2 by 3. This is 140 by 3, this is 46 something, 4666. Okay, A is the right answer. Okay, so here also we can do the same. We can do the trial method because it's a smaller number, you can save time. 7, 8, 9, 6. Now let's divide by 11, the remainder must be 5. So if you add 1, now divide by 11, 7 times 77, 1 9, 1 time 11, 8 6, 7 times 77, the remainder becomes 9. So A cannot be the right answer. Now let's check 3, 7, 8, 9, 6, 3, divided by 11, 7 times 1 9, same 1 11, this is 8 6, sorry 3, it's 3, 1, this is 8 6, 11 times 7 times it is 7. One second. 7, 8, 9, 6, 3. Let's divide it by 11 to check whether this gives us remainder as 5. 7 times 77, 1 9, 1 time 11, 8 6, 7 times, how much does it give? 77. This is 9, 3. Okay, and 8 times it gives how much? 88. So remainder is 5. Here we got remainder as 5. So B is the right answer. Okay, 25 question is pipe and cistern problem. Let's see, a pipe can fill a tank. Pipe A can fill a tank in 16 hours. Another pipe, suppose it's pipe B, can fill the same tank in 24 hours. After both the pipes are for 6 hours, the second pipe is closed. How many more hours will it take for the first pipe? So we have to find the remaining time required by pipe A to fill the tank when pipe B is closed. So 1 hour work of pipe A will be 1 by 16. 1 hour work of pipe B will be 1 by 24. So 1 hour work done together by them will be the LCM 48, 3 plus 2, 5 by 48. Now for how many hours they filled the tank? For 6 hours. So we will multiply by 6. This will be the amount of work done by both, amount of water filled by them, by both of them in 6 hours. That is 30 by 48. So if the total amount of work is 1 and 30 by 48 has been done, so the remaining work will be 1 by 30 by 48. Means remaining water that is to be filled in the tank will be 48 minus 30 by 48, that is 18 by 48. This is the remaining portion that is to be filled by pipe A. So what we can do, since the remaining is 18 by 48, we will just divide it by the net filling rate of pipe A, which is 1 by 16. 3, and this becomes 6 hours. B is the right answer. Easy question. Again, we will just substitute the value to check whichever satisfies the equation will be the correct answer. So 16x by 2 is the 64. Let's substitute x is equal to 2. If we substitute x is equal to 2, 16 power 1 is 64. Is this correct? No. We'll check another. X is equal to 3. 16, 3 by 2, 64. Now 60 can be written as 4 square. 3 by 2, 64. 2 will get cancelled out. 4 cube is equal to 64. This is correct. So simply we can write B is equal to B option as correct. X is equal to 3. Okay, this one is easy question. There are 6 persons P, Q, R, S, T, U. Okay, have different heights. Consider the following. Q is taller than R. So let's, from statement 1, what we can deduce that Q is taller than R. So we will write Q above R, but is shorter than P. So P is here. S is shortest. Let's put S here, the shortest. T is taller than P. Okay, T is taller than P, but shorter than only one person. Only one person. Which is the only person that is not written here? This is U. So U becomes the tallest person. So the question is, who is the tallest? And D becomes the right answer. Okay, this is a mensuration question. There is a circular park which has a radius of 21 meter. Okay, this is a circular park and the radius given is 21 meter. Okay, a pathway of uniform width is to be constructed around the park. This is the path, a circular path that is constructed around the circular park. If the area of the pathway, area given as 4400 square meters, we need to find the width. What is the width? So let's suppose the width is W. So what we can do, we will just subtract the area of the circular park from the whole. So what is the total radius that becomes? 21 plus W. This is the total radius of this structure. Pi. Because the area of circle is pi r square. So pi, and this is the new radius minus pi times of 21 square. This is nothing but equal to 4400. Okay. So take pi common and send it to that side. It will become 4400 into by pi, that will become 7 by 22, 200 and 1400. This is what we get. Now let's solve here. 21 plus W square minus 21 square. 21 plus W square. What is 21 square? 441 minus 441, which will send to that side, that become 1400 plus 441, that will be 1841. So the equation which we get, 21 plus W square is equal to 1841. So now what we will do, we will take the square root on both the sides. On taking square root, 21 plus W will become, this will come out something to be, how much? 42 around, when I solve is 42 point something, like this. Okay. Now W become 42 minus 21.9. This will be somewhat similar, near to 22 meters. So A will be the correct answer. how many leap years are there in 400? Will occur in 400 years. So first we need to know what is the condition for a year to be leap year. If that year is divisible by 4 but not by 100, unless it is divisible by 400 years, then that 400, then it will be a leap year. What I meant, that there is a year X, it is divisible by 4, means remainder is 0, but not by 100, unless it is also divisible by 400, then it will be a leap year. So based on this information, we can solve this question. How many leap year will occur in 400 years? So in 400 years, there will be, if we divide 400 by 4, there will be 100 years divisible by 4. In the next statement, in 400 years, there 400, if we divide it by 4, there will be 4 years divided by 100. Now in 400 years, 400 by 400 equal to 1, there will be 1 year that will be divided by 400. So we got the answer 100. We need to subtract this 4 years and we will add 1 year. 97. 97 will be the correct answer. Now let's move to 30. This is easy sequence question. B15, F6, J30, N3, R41. We need to find the next term that will follow the sequence. So from B to F, how many jump is there? B, C, D, E plus 3 jump. From F to J, G, H, I, B reach J, means there is a difference of 3 between two terms. So similarly from R to R, S, T, U. So next term will be V. And for this 1 plus 5 is 6, 3 plus 0 is 3, 4 plus 5 will be 9. So V9 will be the right answer. This was one easy question just based on observation. Now let's move to 31st. Okay, so this one is based on calculation. The average of 3 number is 42. That means if there are 3 numbers x plus y plus z by 3, it is equal to 42. Okay. The first number is twice the second number. Twice the second. That means first number is 2y. Suppose this is equation 1. And the second number is 3z. Is thrice the third. What are the 3 numbers? So from this we can substitute x plus y. We can get the value of x. Now substitute the value of y based on equation 2. Then it becomes 2 times of 3z. That is 6z. Value of x becomes 6z. So we can write 6z plus y as 3z and z as it is by 3, and the average is, so 3 goes this side, it will be 126. Okay. Now easy. 6, 3, 1, 10z is equal to 126. Z will become 12.6. So since we got the value of z is 12.6, we can get the value of y and x as well because they are expressed in z itself. So y will become 3 times of z, if I am not wrong. 3z, yes, 3z. 3 into 12.6, how much will it be? 37.8. 12.6, 37. This should be the answer. And x is 6 times of z. X is 6 times of z, is 6 into 12.6. This is 75.6. This is the right answer. Let's move on. A ball is dropped from a height of 64 meters. Okay, now this is a bit conceptual. So focus. There is a ball. It's dropped from a height of, this is the ground level, and this height is given as 64 meter. Each time it bounces, it reaches to its 3/4 of its previous height. So every time it bounces, it goes back to 3/4 of its previous height. That means, what is 3/4 of 48 meters? Now, if it bounces back, it reaches to 48 meters. 48 meters. Now, again it will drop due to gravity. Then again it will reach somewhat here. And what is 3/4 of 48? 36. 36 meters. Now again it will go down and it will continue until it comes to rest. So what we can do, this is a question of infinite sum of a GP. We are given the ratio 3/4, because if you see 64, 48, 36 and so on, ratio will be A2 by A1, that is 48 by 64, 3/4. This is the ratio. We know the sum S infinity A by 1 minus R, where A is the first term 64, 1 minus 3/4, 64 into 4, 4 minus 3 will be 1, that is 256 meters. But there is no 256 here. This is because we have just counted the descending distance, but it is rising also. So that distance we have not considered. Now suppose, since it is rising for the first time, the first distance that it will cover will be 48 meter. 48 meters. It is rising. Then again it will rise. So 48, 36 and so on. Okay. So we can use the same equation here. The first term will be 48, 1 minus R, 3/4. 48 into 4 by 1, that will be 192 meter. Now this is a total distance. If it is going up, going down, both are counted, then the distance traveled while going down is 256 meter. But the distance traveling going up is 192. So we need to add all these. So what is the sum? 256 plus 192, 844. 448 meters. This is the right answer. I hope you understood. Consider the following question and statements. What is the total profit or loss percentage of the shopkeeper? Okay, so this one is a bit of calculation. It requires a bit of calculation. Of 100 units, each with a marked price of 600. He gets a 25% discount on the marked price and sells 50% at a 30% profit and 30%. The remaining 50 units, so 15% loss and cost price. Okay, now let's see. Let's try to solve this. From statement 1, let's see. We are given total units as 100. It's a mark price of 6,000. MP we are given. We are not given CP, we are not given SP here. So there is no question that this question can be solved with statement 1 alone. So let's see. We have to move to the next statement, that is, he gets a 25% discount on the marked price and sells 50 units at a 30% profit on his cost price. So the cost price will, what will the cost price here? He gets 25% discount. So 25% of 100 into the marked price. Marked price is 600. 6 times, how much is 150? 150. So the cost price becomes 150 less than the marked price, that is 450. This is the cost price. Okay. And sells 50 units at a 30% profit on the cost price. Okay. 30% profit. So what is the 30% of 450? 135. So we will add 135 to this to get 585. And how many units he sold? 50. What is this value? 585 into 50. 585 into 50. 29,250. 29,250. But again, we cannot deduce anything from this, because to get the overall profit or loss percentage, we need to know the total selling price. We know only CP and the SP of 50 units. But overall we don't know, because there are also 50 units left here. So we have to move to 50 units, statement 3 also. Now the remaining of 15% on the cost price. Cost price we know 450 into 15 by 100. How much will it be? 27.5. What is the value? 450 into 15 by 100 to 3. 22.5 into 3, that is 67.5 if I am not wrong. Okay. So we will subtract 67.5 from 450. 450.0, 67.5. How much? 440. Let's do it a little bit faster. 450 minus 67.5. 382.5. 382.5. Okay. Now total sell 382.5 into 50. How much will it be? Into 50, that is 19,125. That will be 19,125. So now we know the selling price of both the items. In this form statement 2, we got something. We got some value, 29,250 plus 19,125. If you add this, you will get the total selling price. Let's add 29,250, 48,375. Total SP 48,375. Now to find the overall loss of percent, now we know total CP, that is 45,000. 45,000 is 100 into 450, 45,000, and total selling price, that is 48,375. So we subtract these two, we will get 48,375 minus 45,000 by CP, 45,000 into 100. So what we saw, that we required all the three statements to solve this question. We required the total units, we required how much he sold the items for first 50 items, sold for how much he sold the first 50 items, and from third we got how much he sold the next 50 items to get the selling price, overall selling price. So all the three statements are not sufficient. This is wrong. All three statements together are sufficient to all three. C is the right answer. Okay, I hope you got it. A principal amount S simple R percent for 3 years. Principal amount S. Simple was a simple interest formula, P into R into T by 100. Okay, R percent for 3 years. Time is given as 3 years. Interest I. Okay, this is I given. If the interest rate is increased by 15%, so R dash is said to be increased by 50 by 100 of the initial rate. So this will become 150. This will become R plus 0.5 R, 1.5 R. Okay. So I dash will become how much? P into 1.5 R into 3 by 100. 1.5 we can take it out, 1.5 P into R into 3 by 100. This is nothing but I. So I dash will become 1.5 times of I. What does it mean? 50% increase. There's an increment of 50%. So A is the right answer. Okay, let's see this question. Here's the following question. What is the length of the car? What we need to find? Length of car. Let LC be the length of the car. What is that? So let's see first statement. A train is moving at 90 km per hour, overtakes a car moving in the same direction at 54 km per hour. That means from this statement what we can find the relative velocity or speed. If they are traveling in the same direction, then it will be the difference 90 minus 54, 36 km per hour. How to express this in meter per second? We will multiply with 5 by 18. 10 meter per second is the relative speed between the train and the car. The train takes 18 seconds to completely pass the car. Now time given is 18 seconds. From statement 1, we cannot determine because only the relative speed is given. So statement 1 is insufficient to answer the question. From statement 2, it only gives the time to completely pass the car, but it doesn't talk about anything about the length of the. So statement 2 also is not sufficient to answer the question, the required question. So we need to combine both the statements to see, to check if we can deduce the answer from there or not. So we know speed is equal to distance by time. Distance will be equal to the length of the train plus length of the car. Okay, time is given as 18 seconds and we know the relative speed as 10 meter per second. So LT plus LC will become how much? 10 into 18, 180 meter. This is the combined length, but we have here two unknowns and only one equation. Can we solve this? We can never solve this question. So both the statement, even when combined together, is not sufficient to answer the question. So D will be the correct answer. Not be answered. Okay, now let's see this. The two directors A and B are working together to complete a movie project. Two directors. Director A, Director B. Consider the following question and statements. How much Director A receive if the payment is according to their efficiency? This is the question. We need to find the final payment that Director A will get based on their efficiency. Now, statement 1, Director A alone can complete the movie in 30 days. So, the efficiency of A is given as 30 days. He can alone complete. And the efficiency of B is given as how much? 40 days. So 1 day work of A will be 1:30 and 1 day work of B will be, that is nothing of 4:3. This is the efficiency ratio of Director A and B. Okay. The total budget allocated. So from this can be deduced, this is only the ratio we are given, but we are not given the total amount. So how can we finally find out the total amount that A will get? So statement 1 is not sufficient. The total budget allocated for the, now here we are given the total budget. So to find the share of A based on their efficiency, 4/4/3 into 8 lakhs. That is 4/7 times of 8 lakh. Whatever the value which you will get after solving this is the share of A based on their efficiency. So the statement required, this is wrong. But cannot be. C is the right answer. A is wrong. So C is the right answer. We need both the statements, the ratio efficiency and the total amount. Now let's move on to another question, 45th one. A builder has two types of bricks. Let's see, a builder has two types of it. One is 24 centimeter and the other is 36 centimeter long. So we are given two dimension, 24 centimeter and 36 centimeter long. He wants to arrange them in a single row without breaking any bricks so that the row has the same length of both types of bricks. What is the minimum length of the row that can be formed, and how many bricks of each type will be required? So what we can do, we can just get the LCM of 24 and 36, which is required, that is 72. So simply we can find that 72 centimeters is the right answer, but we also need to see if this is correct. Let's check. Now when we divide one type by 24, we get 3 bricks, and by 36 we get 2 bricks. So this all satisfies what is required in the question. 3 bricks we require, 2 bricks we also require. So A is the correct answer. Okay, now this is a permutation and combination question. Let's see how it's done. A basketball team of 7 players, total players to be selected is equal to 7 from a pool of 12 players, total players. Out of 12 players, 7 players need to be selected, in which 6 wearing red jerseys, 4 wearing blue jerseys, 2 wearing yellow jerseys, and the team must include at least 1 player from each jersey color. So there must be 1 player that has 1 blue jersey, 1 red jersey, and 1 yellow jersey. So how many different teams can be formed? So this is a permutation combination question. So let's check. For red, blue, and yellow, how many combinations that can be formed based on the above question? So the first combination can be how much? That we have 5 red, 1 blue, and 1 yellow. Another combination can be 4 red, 2 blue, 1 yellow. Other will be 4 red, 1 blue, 2 yellow. Another will be 3 red, 3 blue, and 1 yellow. Another will be 3 red, 2 blue, 2 yellow. Then it will be 2 red, 3 blue, 2 yellow, and it will be 2 red, 4 blue, and 1 yellow. Apart from this, do we have any combination? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. So since we have these, we can substitute one by one. For 5, 1, 1, we need to have 6 players. So 6C 5 into how much? 4 wearing blue. 4C 1 into and 2 wearing yellow. 2C1. We solve this 6C5 is nothing but 6C1, that is 6 into 4 into 2, 48. 48 ways. Now let's check another. 421. 6C4 into 4C2 into 2C1. Solve this, you will get some value. By the way, NCR formula is n factorial by r factorial n minus r factorial. So 6C4 will be 6 factorial by r factorial is 4 factorial and 6 minus 4 factorial is 2 factorial. Solve this, we will get some value. So similarly, if you put each combination in this form and add all those, we will get some value. So the final value after adding each one of these 511, 421 and the value which you got, you will add up to how much? 664. This is the right answer. I am not solving one by one because it is very time consuming. So you practice on your own. You will get the right answer. Okay, let's see this question. What is the cost price? We are asked what is CP. A supplier marks a product 40% to mark price above the cost price and offers two successors 20% and 10%. Okay. So the mark price according to the statement, what information can we get? It is C. Let C be the cost price and 40% of C. C plus 0.4 C, that is 1.4 C. Okay. But what is the actual cost price? We do not know. We just know the equation 1.4 C. So statement 1 is not sufficient. The final selling price is 10 and also we missed 20% discount and 10% successive discount. So 1.4 times of 1 minus 20% discount is how much? 0.2. Hmm. 0.2. It is 1.4 into 0.8. Whatever the value which we will get, what is the value? It is 1.12 C. This is the value we get. Okay. Now, another discount is given 10%. So 1.12, 1 minus 0.1. 1.12 into 0.9. What is the value which we will get? After solving this, we will get 1.008 C. This is the total information which we can get from statement 1. Okay. So the final selling price is given as itna 10,08,000. Okay. So 1,08,000. This is nothing but 1.008 C. So statement 2 alone is not sufficient because we are just given the selling price. How can we deduce cost price from selling price? So we need to combine both the statements. How do we combine? Through this equation. Now C, we will get some value, then 1,08,000 by 1.008. Whatever the value we will get, that will be the cost price. So we finally got the cost price. So we required both the statements. Since we required both the statements, the C will be the correct answer. This is by mistake. Let me check if it is from paragraph or what is the question number 48. Okay, this is not a paragraph, this is a reasoning kind of question. Let's check. To reduce air pollution, all industries located in the city limits should be moved outside the city, said a government official. Okay. Assumption: industry does not necessarily contribute to air pollution. This is actually not correct. Industries do contribute to air pollution. So statement assumption 1 is incorrect. Moving industry outside the city will always reduce air pollution levels in the city. No, there are other ways. There are other ways through which pollution is very strong. Because we are given always, it's a very extreme statement. We cannot always say so. So this one is also incorrect. So neither 1 nor 2. Okay, now here we are given a graph. A number of literate employee, unliterate, illiterates are given in the question. Okay. If Rajasthan increases literacy by reducing the number of illiterates by 20%, will while keeping the employment level constant, how will the additional literates be recorded in Rajasthan? Okay, so let's see. For Rajasthan, we need to see. For Rajasthan, we need to see. Okay, so total number of literate employed. Literate employed is 30 lakh. Total literate employed 30 lakh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and total illiterate, literate unemployed, it is around 9 lakhs. It is 39 lakhs total population plus number of illiterates, that is 18 lakh. That is 57 lakh population of Rajasthan is given according to this graph. So let's see, 18 lakh. Okay, so 20%. What's the question? 20% of the illiterates are reduced. Take it 20%, 20 by 100 into 18 lakh. That will be 1/5 of 18 lakh is 3,60,000. Now 3,60,000 illiterates are converted into literates. Now since the population remains the same, the total number additional literates will be recorded as the same as this number, 3,60,000. Because these illiterates are converted into literates, so the total number, the new literates will be add up by 3,60,000. And out of 18 lakh illiterates, we will subtract 3,60,000. So the remaining will be 14 lakh something illiterates will be remaining in the city. Okay, so we are done with this question. Okay, now let's see this question. Find the question and find the time after which two athletes starting from the same point on the circular track will meet at the starting point. So this is, we have solved this question. We require the LCM, and the LCM will be the time after which they will meet again. The two athletes start running up together on a 200-meter circular track, and the first athlete completes the lap in 60 seconds. So here we are given length of the track is a 200 meter, and they will meet the starting point again. The first will complete the lap in 60 seconds. Player A 60 seconds. The second will complete the lap in 90 seconds. So from this we get the time taken by athlete A to complete the lap. But can we deduce anything? We also require the time required by second player. So statement 2 alone also cannot, because it gives the time taken by the second player, not by the first player. So it is alone not sufficient. Both the statements alone are not sufficient to answer the question. So on combining those, we will just find the LCM of this 90, 60, whatever the LCM will become 180. So after 3 minutes, 180 seconds, after 3 minutes they both will meet. So statement can be answered by using both the statement together, but cannot be answered. C is the right answer. Okay. Now let's see this. In a certain language, knife, K-N-I-F-E, knife, is coded as M-P-K-H-G. What will the code for blade in that language? Now let's see the relation. K, we skipped L. N, we skipped O. I, J, we skipped J. 1 unit we skipped to reach to the next term. F, G, E, F, G. Okay. So, blade, how can we write blade? We need to just skip one term to reach to the second. B will be written as skip C, reach D. Skip M, reach N. Skip B, reach C. Skip E, reach F. Skip F, reach G. D and C, F, G. This is A. Okay, now let's see this. How long will train it take to completely to overtake train B? Time taken. We are asked time to overtake train B. This is the demand of the question. Okay. Now let's see the first one. Two trains A and B of length 300 meters respective are moving. So here we are given length of the train. Train A, it is 300. Train B, it is much 400. We are just given the length, but we are not given the time. How can we reduce the time? Because the main demand of the question is to find out the time. So statement 1 is not enough. Statement 2, the speed of A 90 km per hour and speed of B 72 km per hour running in the same direction. Now again we have seen the same question. We are given the speed, so we can find the relative speed. 90 minus 72, that is 18 km per hour. Okay, now we will convert it into meter per second. 5 by 18, that is 5 meter per second. This is the relative speed we got, and we also have the length. Now statement 2 also, it is only the speed is given, but we are not given the length. So it is alone not sufficient to solve the question. So now when you combine both these, we know the time, we know the speed, relative speed. 5. Distance, the length will be the sum of those, the train 400, and by time. Now we solve this, we get the time 700 by 5, that is 140 seconds. So 140 seconds is the required time. How long? So in 140 seconds train A will completely overtake train B. So we require both the statements. Answer C is the right question. Option C is the correct answer. 57. Okay. What is the sum of the numbers? Sum of the numbers. The number lie between 4000 and 5000 divisible by both 20 and 50. Okay. 20 and 50, we just get the LCM. How much? It is 100. Okay. So if the LCM is 100 and it is between 4000 and 5000, we can simply find the sum. 4100, 4200, 4300 up to 4900. We can find the sum, we can get the sum. So this is enough. Statement 1 is enough. Now let's check for statement 2. The numbers leaving a remainder of 7 when divided by 20, 50 and 100. 20, 50, it leaves a remainder of 7. So from this, we can just get the LCM of 20, 50 and 100, that is nothing but 100. By some multiplier, say suppose x, and what is the remainder? 7. And it lies between 4000 and 5000. Okay. So 100k, subtracting 7 from that, 3993, 4993. Now the value of k now will lie between how much? 39.93, 49.93. Okay. Now the k value is now 40 up to 49. Now substitute the value of k in this. What are the values which you will get? 100 into 40, 4000 plus 7, 4007. Similarly, substitute x with 41, we will get 4107. Similarly, 4207 and so on. We will get the last value of 4907. Okay. You can also find the sum. So statement 2 alone is also sufficient to answer the question, because in both the statement we are getting the sum. So both statements, the question cannot be answered, this is wrong. The question can be using, this is wrong. Question can be using. This is B. B is the right answer. The question can be answered by using either statement alone. We do not require both the statement. Okay, now this is a bit calculation laden question. Solve it. Now let's see this question. A certain sum of money is distributed among 3 friends, Aryan, Kabir and Sahil. These are 3 friends. Okay. So we have Aryan, let's denote it by A. Let's denote it by K. And let's denote Sahil by S. Okay. The question is asking who receives the maximum share of the money. Who among these 3 friends gets the maximum share? This is what we need to find. So from statement 1, let's see, Aryan receives 5 by 9 times of the total amount of Kabir and Sahil, K plus S. Okay. So A plus K plus S will be, substitute this value in place of A, 5 by 9 times of K plus S, K plus S. What is the value which we will get? We will get 14 by 9 times of K plus S. So solve this, we will get this value. Okay. Now from this you can deduce that A is equal to 5 by 14 times of K plus S, 14 times of A plus K plus S. And for K plus S you will get, just subtract A, you will get 9 by 14 times of A plus K plus S. 9 by 14 times of A plus S. We are getting this value, but it is not telling us the exact amount. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient to answer the question. Okay. Now let's move on to statement 2. Kabir receives 2/5 of the total amount. K is 2/5 of the total amount received by Kabir and Sahil. This is what we got. So on solving this, we can get 5K is equal to 2K plus 2S. Now 2K will be sent to that, so 3K is equal to 2S. Okay. Now S will become how much? 3 by 2 times of K. Alright. So K plus S now will become K plus 3 by 2 times of K, that is 5 by 2K. 5 by 2K. Alright. So here also we can see that nothing we can reduce. What is the share of who gets the maximum share? We cannot reduce anything. So statement 2 alone is also not sufficient. Now let's combine statement 1 and statement 2. A, we had found out that it is nothing but 5 by 9 of K plus S. Because there is less space on the board, that is why I have written on this copy. So I can remember the values, so cope up with it. And then K is 2 by 5 times of K plus S from here. Okay. And what is the value which we got? K plus S is equal to 5 by 2 times of K. We are just repeating the same thing that we have done there. Okay. Now from this K plus S, if we substitute this value in here, so what the value of A which we will get? 5 by 9 times of 5 by 2K. That is 25 by 18K. This is a share of A. That is, who is A? What's his name? Aryan. Aryan is how much? 25 by 18K. Okay. Now from statement 2, we had gotten a relation that is 3K is 2S. Okay. And Kabir we denoted as K, so it will be K only. And since the base is given as 18, we will try to write K such that it remains 1 only, as K only. So we can write K as 18 by 18 K. Okay, so we have Aryan as 25 by 18K, Kabir as 18 by 18K, and who is the third member? Third member is Sahil, and Sahil is 3K by 2. So to convert it with base 18, we will just multiply denominator and numerator with 9. It will be 27K 18. So Sahil share becomes 27K by 18K. 27K by 18. So who has the maximum share? Which is the largest value? It is 27K by 18. That is Sahil. So what we can do is that we require both the statements to solve the answer, because individually they do not giving any information, any proper value. So we require both the statement. C is the right answer. Okay, now let's see. A company annual revenue is 10 crore. A pie chart shows revenue. Marketing 25%, R&D 20%, salaries 30%, and miscellaneous 25%. So what is asked? What is the sum of central angles for R&D and miscellaneous? R&D, we need to see R&D. What is R&D? R&D is 20%. 20 by 100 into 360. And we need to add miscellaneous 25 by 100 into 360. Whatever the value is the answer. So let's 72 plus 25. 5 to 18. 90. 72 plus 90, it is 162 degrees. Okay, this was an easy question. Answer is A. Okay, now this is a question. Hands of a clock, what is the angle between hour and minute? So we just know that to find the angle theta between hand clock and minute hand of a clock, we just substitute this by 11 by 2 m minus 30 h absolute value. This is in 2024 also we got this question. We could have easily solved this with this formula. So 11 by 2, what is the minute value given? 30 minus 30 h, which is 4. So this is 15. 15 into 11 is 165. 120, that is 45 degree. Just remember this formula, 11 by 2 times of minute minus 30 times of hour. Answer is how much? 45. Now let's move on to next question, 61st. Okay, now let's see. Consider the following, including the question and the statement. There are three friends, A, B and C. They start a business and B reinvest more in business. Okay, so out of these three, B is investing more in the business. Question is, what is the B total earning after reinvesting? That means B has invested once and then B is again investing. So ABC in the ratio of 3:5:7. Okay, here we are giving that they are investing in the ratio, initial investment is in the ratio 3:5:7, but it is not giving us the total amount of money that is being invested or how much B is investing after reinvesting after investing. So statement 1 is not sufficient to answer. At the end of the profit is 4,50,000. So this looks like something more informative. So 4,50,000. So we can find the B's share, that is 5 times of summation of all 8, 15, 8, 7, 3, 10, 15, 4,50,000. Whatever the value which we will get, that is 1/3 of this, that is 1,50,000 is the value. Okay, this is the share of B. Means this is how much B invested in the company. At the end of now B reinvested share and earns 10% extra profit. He again invest this amount and gains 10%. What is 10% of this? 15,000. So what is the total amount that he will be having after reinvesting? It will be 15,000 plus the initial investment, that is 1,65,000. So from this we can see that we require all the 3 statements. The initial investment we require, total investment to find the answer based on the given ratio, and finally we got the answer how much he earns after reinvestment, extra earns. So 1,65,000. So we require all the 3 statements. This is wrong. C is correct. Now let's see this question. How many of these smaller cubes will have no paint at all? So this is a cube question. Okay, let's see the first statement. A cube of size 10 centimeter is completely painted on the outside. So it is just giving us the size of the initial cube, that is 10 centimeter. We do not know, from this statement we cannot deduce that how many smaller cubes it has been divided into. So this alone is not sufficient to answer the question. The cube is cut into 125 smaller cubes of equal sizes. Now here we can get some information that 125 centimeter. If it is the cube is cut into small pieces, that is equal to the volume of the cube, and volume of the cube is nothing but V equal to A cube. So if V equal to A cube is 125, A is how much? 5. So the size, so it is 5 into 5 into 5. This is the dimension. But this does not tell us about what was the original size of the cube. So at an individual level, this statement is also not able to solve the question. So but when we combine both these two, we know the original size is 10 and now it is divided into 5. Okay, so the 2 centimeter, the cube is of size 2 centimeter. So when it is painted, so there will be 1 unit that will be deducted from both the side. Okay, from every side. So 5 minus 2, 5 minus 2, 5 minus 2, that is 3 into 3 into 3, 27. There will be 27 cubes because 1 unit from each side is being deducted. Okay, so there will be 27 cubes that will be left, that will have no paint at all. So we require both the statements. C is the correct answer. Okay, now here we are given some value, 7 times of 103, it is divided by 12, and what is the remainder we need to find out. It's an easy question, just take 7 power 1 by 12, what is the remainder? 7, remainder 7, 7 square by 12, remainder is 1, 7 cube by 12, 343 by 12, remainder will be 7, 7 power 4 by 12, you will see the remainder will be 1. So here we can see a pattern that whenever the power is, what do you say, odd, the remainder is 7, and whenever the power is even, the remainder is 1. So based on the similar pattern, 103 is an odd power If it is an odd power, the remainder will be 7. Simple. This is a very basic question. We just need to make the bases common and we'll get the answer. Now here we are given 5 by 12, 1 by 3, 3 by 8 and 2 by 5. Either you convert this into percentage, you will get the answer. Another method is just get the LCM of 12, 3, 8 and 5. Okay, 12, 3, 8 and 5. That's 3 times 4, 1, 8, 5. Okay, then again you get 2, 2, 1, 4, 5. Then again you use 2, 1, 1, 2, 5. 2, 5, 10, 20, 40, 120. Okay, so the base is now 120, 120, 120, 120. Okay, now how much do we need to multiply? 20, 12 into 10, 5 into 10, 50. Okay, 3, 40 times 40. 8, how much time? 15 times 45. And 5, how much times? 24 times 48. And we are in ascending order. The smallest one is this one, that is 1 by 3 will come first. Okay, then after that 3 by 8. Okay, after that 48, that is 2 by 5. And after that 5 by 12, that is 50 by. Based on that, D is the correct answer if I am not wrong. 3 by 8. Let me check. 68. D. Yes, D is the correct answer. Let's move on to 69th. Okay, now 5 men and 8 women can complete a work in 10 days. So there are 5 men and 8 women, they can complete a work in 10 days. If women is half as efficient as the men. Okay, in how many days 6 men and 4 women can complete the same work? So what we can do in this question? There are 5 men plus 8 women. They are working for how many days? 10 days. Okay. Now in the question it is given that women are half as efficient as men. So women can be written as m by 2. So substituting the value of W, m by 2 into 10, 4 times 9m into 10, that is how much? 90m. This is the first equation which we get from the first part of the question. If the efficiency of a man, 6 men, this is the amount of work, okay, total amount of work, which will be same in both the cases. 6 men and 4 women. Again we will substitute the value of W as m by 2. We do not know the number of days which we need to find out, and that is equal to total amount of work, that is 90m. Okay, so 2, that is 8m into D is equal to 90m. Okay, m gets cancelled and D will become 90 times of 8. That is 2 times 45, 2 times 4, 2 times 22.5, 2 times 2, that is 11.25 days. Do we have? Yes, 11.25 days is in the option. So D is the correct answer. Okay, now the circular table, and there are 8 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it is given that 2 people must always sit together. Suppose these are the 2 people, and how many people can arrange this possible? So how many units are there? If they were to be arranged separately, there would have been How many units? 8 units. But since these two people are sitting together, they can be considered as 1 unit and the rest as 6 different units. Okay, so total number of units becomes 7 factorial. Okay, 7. Total number of units becomes 7. These 6 people can rearrange among themselves in how many ways? 6 factorial ways. And within this unit, these 2 people can rearrange themselves within 2 factorial units. So total number of ways can become 720 into 2. That is 1440. This is the answer. Okay, now let's see. This is a following question and statement. What is the new overall average of the school? New overall average of school. The average marks of section A, section B and section C, 60, 65 and 70. We are given 3 averages. So for an average we require the number of students and the marks. Here we are not given anything. Here we are just given the average marks. We are not given the total number of students. So statement alone cannot determine the new average of the school. 20% of the student from A, 25% from B and 30% from C fail and their marks are not counted. Here we are given just the percentage of the failure students, but here also we cannot get the total number of students which is required to find the new average of the school. So this is alone not sufficient. So both the statement we can see we are not given any information about the number of students. So both the statement cannot tell the new overall average of the school. So D is the right answer. They both cannot be. They cannot be answered even by using both the statement alone. Let's move to the next question. 74. This is a direction question, easy one. A person 10 kilometer walks 10 kilometer to north. Okay, suppose this is the person walking 10 kilometer north. This is north direction. And walks and turns left. This is left side and walks 6 kilometer. Okay, and then turns left and walks again 10 kilometer. This is the left direction. He does turn right and walk 4 kilometers. 4 kilometers. Okay. How far and in which direction is from the starting point? This is the starting point. This is also 6. This is 4. 6 plus 4, 10. And in which direction is facing? It is north, then it will be west. So 10 kilometer towards the west. Okay. This was an easy question. Now let's move on to the next 75th one. Okay, this is also an easy question. Now suppose 3 statements are given below. The price of product A is given higher than product B. Okay, but is lower than product C and D. Product C, product D. Okay. We do not know the relation between these two. Now let's move on to product B is the least expensive. Product B is least expensive. So, okay, no problem. Product D is the more expensive than product. Now we got the relation between C and D. That is, product D is more expensive than product C. So, D is more expensive than C, A and B. This is the order. Which product A, B, C, D? This is wrong. It should be most expensive. It's a typing mistake. Most expensive. So which one is most? Product D. So from this we can deduce that we do not require statement 2 because we are asked most expensive product. So from 1 and 3 only we can deduce. So statement 1 and 2, statement 1 and 3 are sufficient answer. D is the correct answer. Okay, now let's see the sets question. Now consider the given information and in a university 200 students eat at least one of the The total number of students is given as how much? 200. Okay, total number of students are given 200, and there are 3 fruits: apples, bananas, and cherries. These 200 students eat at least one fruit. That means apple, bananas, and cherries. 100. Let's, for apple, how much given? 120. For bananas, we are given how much? 80. For cherries, how much we are given? That is 90. And apple and bananas, 40. Bananas and cherries, we are given how much? 30. Apple and cherries, we are given how much? 50. 50, okay. And 20 students eat. Means A intersection B intersection C, how much is 30 fruits, or 20, sorry, 20 fruits. This is the information which I have. Now we will just substitute the values. Now let's see what is the question actually. This is just the information. How many eat exactly one fruit? Means we need to find the sum of A only, means apples only, bananas only, cherries only. Whatever the value which we will get after adding all these 3 will be the answer. So for A only, what we can do, we will just take A minus A intersection B minus A intersection C. Then we will add A intersection B intersection C. Okay, what is the value of A? A is 120 plus what is A intersection B? 40 minus A intersection C is 50, and what is A intersection B intersection C? It is 20. Okay, so what is the value? 120, 160, 160 minus 110, it is 130. 120, A is 120, A intersection B is 40, A minus A intersection 50, 90, plus 20, that is 160 minus 110, 130. I think there is some mistake here. 1 second. Oh sorry, this is minus. That is the mistake. 120 minus 90, 30, 50. 50 should be the, yes, 50. Okay, so we got A only as 50. For B only, what we will do? Minus B intersection C minus A intersection B plus A intersection B intersection C. B is 80, sorry, minus B intersection C is 30, minus A intersection B is 40, and this will be 20. What is the value? 80 minus 70, this is 30. Let's see if it is correct, 30 is correct or not. Yes, 30 is correct. And C, for C only. For C only, we must have guessed A intersection C, B intersection C plus A intersection B intersection C. What is the value? C is 90. C is 90. A intersection C is minus 50. And B intersection C is 30. and 20. Okay, 90 minus 80 is 10, 30. This is also the value we are getting as 30. Okay, 30. So 30. 50, 30, 30. How much? 110. C is the right answer. We will need some of the information. So we will just, for the next question, oh no. A intersection B intersection C, it is 20. Okay, we do not need these anymore, so we will rub it off. Okay, now let's see what's given here. How many students? Exactly 2 fruits. Now we are asked 2 fruits, so we need to add A intersection B only, B intersection C only, A intersection C only. Whatever the value is the right answer. So what will we get? A union B subtract A union B union C. Sorry, intersection C, not union. So what is, this is for A B only. What is A intersection B? 40 minus 20. B intersection C only. That is nothing, B intersection C minus B A intersection B intersection C. What is B intersection C? It is 30, 20, 10. Okay, now let's see A intersection C. A intersection C minus A intersection B intersection C. What is A intersection C? 50 minus 20, that is 30. So what is the sum? 30, then 20, that is 60. A is the right answer. Now let's move on to next question, 78. Okay, now here we are given an equation. We need to find the value of x. X square plus 5x minus 24 equal to 0. So if we factorize it, x plus 8 minus 3, x plus 8 equal to 0. So from here we can get the value of x is 3 and minus 8. So from equation 1 we are not able to deduce the exact value, rather we are getting 2 values. So statement 1 is alone not sufficient to answer the question. Statement 2, x is a positive number. Now statement 2 clearly states that x is a positive integer, 3. So when you combine statement 1 and 2, so we can answer the question. 79, let's see. This is one basic question of age and differences. So A and B, ratio 3 by 5. So let A's age 3x years, B's age will be 5x years. Okay, now we will add 3x by 5. If you add 6 years to these two, the new ratio will become how much? 5 by 7. Now cross multiply 21x plus 42. It is equal to 25x plus 30. So 4x will become 12 and x will become 3. Now what we asked, we are finding the present age of A. Present age of A is 3x. 3x is 3 into 3, that is 9 years. This is very basic question. Now let's go to the last question. Bit of mixture. Okay, as well as 80 grams of an alloy. So alloy, there is an alloy. So it is 80 grams. it contains gold and silver in the ratio of 5:3. That is 5 by 3 times of 80, 3 by 5 plus 3 times of 80 is 10. There is 50 grams of gold and 30 grams of silver. From here we can reduce. He wants to remove 20 grams of the alloy and replaces it with the same with pure silver. So he removes 20 gram. Now if alloy is a homogeneous mixture, right? So if you remove, the overall ratio will remain the same. So before adding silver, the overall ratio will remain the same. So he removes 20 grams. So 20 grams of 5 by 8. How much is it? 100 by 8. It is 12.5 grams. Means 12.5 grams of gold is being removed. So after removal, what is the percentage, that what is the amount? 12.5 grams. 37.5 grams of gold will remain after removal of 20 grams of the alloy. Okay. Now similarly for silver, 20 grams is being removed. 3 by 8. How much? 60. 60 by 8 is how much? 30 by 4. That is 7.5 grams. So initial how much amount of silver do we have? 30 minus 7.5 grams if we removed, that is 22.5 grams. This is the amount of silver that we have. So 37.5 grams of gold and 22.5 grams of silver. So what is the next thing? Replaces with silver. So 20 gram of silver is being added. So now we have 22.5 grams. Now 20 grams of silver is being added. So total amount of silver will become 42.5 grams. Okay. Now we have 37.5 grams of gold and 42.5 grams of silver. So what is the ratio? 37.5 plus 42.5. Ratio. So what will we do? We just multiply by 2. This will become 75 is to 85, and we'll simplify this. It will become 15 times 5 times, and this is 5 times 15 is to 17. Dividing both sides by how much? 15. Sorry, 5. So this is the 15 is to 20. Is there any option B? 15 is to 17. This is the right answer. So here we come to a conclusion of our Panchsutra 2 test CSAT. Hope you have enjoyed the session. Thank you.